Hi everyone. So I'm live. As you can probably tell, or maybe not, I am very sunburnt over the past couple of days. It was a long few days. Worth it though. Worth it. Had so much fun. And honestly, it's something I've needed for a while. Just to have so much fun within a short amount of time. Now, will that fun continue? Not right away, but there is potentially a new project coming to the channel as well. Just depends on if he picks it up or not. We'll see for sure. And because it's something I've really wanted for a long time. Not that it's going to be like my car, but I'll be able to play with it, which I can't. Hopefully it happens. I'll know in about 48 hours whether or not I'll be able to play with this little thing. And it's something that I've wanted for a long time. But let's go back to what's honestly what'll happen. Because I mean, yes, it's kind of described in the description at the top or the title, but it's one of these things where I do just want to go a little more in depth about stuff because like it all starts on Thursday. Thursday, I travel with my dad up to Edmonton, albeit we took separate vehicles. Like he took his Magnum, I took my Mustang, and you know, and it was honestly just a really good time with that. Best concert I've ever been to by far. Wasn't terribly long though, I will say that. It only went from 7 till 10. Which is a decent length, don't get me wrong, but I expected it to be a little longer than that. I expected it to be at least 11. However, it's fine. Um, it's still an amazing concert. And like Disturbed, if you ever get the opportunity to go see Disturbed, do it. Do it. I promise you, you will not regret it. It can be, their crowd interaction's really good. They sound identical to their studio. To be honest, if you ever hear them on the radio, that's exactly how they sound, and it's really good to be honest. Um, and it was very emotional as well because just tapping into honestly memories that I've had for a long time and just kind of being able to listen to the music live and let them go. Because bear in mind, I haven't seen Disturbed in concert since I think it was 2016. If I remember correctly, it was 2016. It was actually Valentine's Day, if memory serves. And then, afterwards, obviously, haven't really had the opportunity to again. So it was really amazing to be able to see them in concert. And I was able to kind of, pay my dad back for he's taken me to a few concerts himself. Like we saw the Cult together. He's taken me to see Billy Talent twice, you know, and it's just a little give back. And I never thought that I would cry at a heavy metal concert, but here we are. I did 100%. There was a moment when David Draymond was talking, and he was talking about his struggles. Now, his struggles, I knew that he had depression and stuff like that. I didn't know how bad it was, though, because he mentioned after talking about, you know, missing Chester, and that's Chester Bennington of Linkin Park, and talking about, I'm trying to remember, there was two others that he talked about that are just missing them, and then he just casually drops that he almost took his life 2 months ago, which that just broke me hearing that because Disturbed has been my favorite band for quite a long time, and honestly, I just felt for him in that moment, and all I wanted to do is just run up and hug him. He actually brought three people onto the stage. They all had a story, and they talked about it, and then uh, played the song "The Light" right afterwards. It was just beautiful, to be honest. But outside of that, so that was Thursday. Friday, me and my buddy Keith, because I stayed at his house, because I have a permanent room in his house. Whenever I want, I can just stay there. It's not a big deal, and it's just nice. Also, also with the shop there and everything, if I want to work in my car, I can. It's quite nice actually, and it's just a secluded area too. You don't, there's not much for noise or anything like that, and not really much traffic. So, um, but yeah, so um, what was I gonna say? There is a like, and this video's coming out. I'm not gonna release the video until the auction is over, for obvious reasons, as I'm sure you can think of. But there on Friday, me and Keith went to go check out this auction, and there was some really cool stuff there. You know, there was an old Buick GS 350. It was, I think it's 69 or 68. Really cool. There's a 88 Honda CRX, which I want so bad. And I mean, I don't have the money for it, but Keith is trying to buy it, and we'll see if it goes too high or not. Which I can actually check to see how expensive it is at the moment, and I can let you know that. Um, it's just really, really cool. Um, because all I have to do is find the chat with my dad because I sent it to him. It doesn't happen to have any keys, so we don't know if it runs, but it's the base motor with 72 horsepower and a little 1.5 liter. Now, okay, current bid is only $835, and it's my buddy that's winning the bid at the moment. So we'll see. But I mean, there's still a couple days left in the auction. So we shall see what happens, but hopefully, because I've always wanted to play with one of these. It's just one of those cars that when I was younger, the CRX was just such a cool car. Now, a CRX, because all a CRX really is, to be honest, is just it's a Honda Civic with the back seats removed. That's really it. It's a slightly different like front bumper and rear, sort of. The rear, if it didn't say CRX, you could see it say Civic, and it pretty much looks the same, right? Like the similar age Civic two-door hatch. It's almost identical, but the CRX is just lighter because it doesn't have a back seat in it, and it was faster because of that as well. The CRX, because it was lighter as well, got much better fuel economy. Um, like this version, so this little CRX could actually do over like 50 to 60 miles per gallon, to be honest. It's just incredible what they can do. It happens to have a manual. It will need some work, but it's in really good shape overall. And it actually has a roll bar installed, which is really cool. Like, I can actually I'll wait actually for the when the auction ends and you guys can see the video on that. But like I said, since there was that Buick GS 350, there was that. There was an old International pickup, which was really cool actually. And also there was a couple of other vehicles that I really like. There's an old 50, I think it was 52 Willys panel, which is really neat, to be honest. And actually, it's in really good shape overall. Um, so there's that. There actually was a Bombardier Iltis Jeep, which, if you don't know what that is, they're an amphibious vehicle, and they were built by Bombardier. The Canadian military actually used them for the longest time. where the British had the snatched Land Rover, the OG sort of Defender before it was called the Defender. They sorry. the sorry about that. The Americans, depending on the year, they had the Willys Jeep or they had the Humvee for the military. And Canada, depending on year, we actually had the Altus Jeep, which is interesting. They used a little Volkswagen 4-cylinder, and like I said, they're amphibious, and they're quite heavy duty, to be honest. Now the engines weren't the greatest. Their front engine, it's not like the old school air cooled. I mean, actually, is it air cooled? I can't even remember. But honestly, they're just so cool. I would honestly buy it if, well, I knew anything about that engine, to be honest. That's just neat. Because, yeah, it's just very cool. And honestly, I can't wait for this auction to end and see if Keith buys anything. Because he's the one with money. If I had money, I'd be bidding on stuff too. And I just asked Keith if he can, go pick it up for me. So, which he'd be willing to do. He has no issue just doing that at all. Or I could make a deal with them to say, hey, I can pay this right now and I can pick it up in a couple of weeks because, I can't really be around until then. Because really, that's kind of the plan right now. I am waiting for my dad to be back home again, which he won't be home till like a week and a couple of days actually. So he's gonna be flying back Wednesday morning. So not like this Wednesday. Um, like he'll be flying back. Actually, if I look at the calendar, which should be right here, he'll be flying back on the 31st or the 24th. Sorry, instead of the 22nd. He's just picking up a couple extra shifts, so that's not a problem. But I still gonna have to drive him. God, I have no viewers, and this sucks. You know what? I just want to. Can I not make a post? Oh, that is dumb. I mean, yeah, I could through my phone, which I guess I'll just do that. Yeah, let me just do that really quick. There we go. So, anyways, yeah, so this auction with all these cool vehicles, is going through, and he's wanting to pick up a couple. Like there was one truck where he was just like, because there happens to be a King Ranch, it's like a 2008, I think it was, and he wants it so bad. And to be honest, he needs it like he needs a hole in the head. And any of this stuff, he needs it like a hole in the head, to be honest. But he's an enthusiast and he likes his stuff. And I mean, we're all the same way, right? And like that CRX, I want to play with it so bad. I've always wanted one before they went stupid in price. Like you're hard put to find a CRX for, like less than $5,000, and typically they're even more than that if they're clean. And this one's actually pretty clean overall. It needs detailing, and I'd get rid of that horrid steering wheel it has. But other than that, there's not much I'd change about it. That's cool. And it's tastefully done. Like I said, excluding the steering wheel, there's some pedal covers that I'd get rid of as well. They're just those kind of ricey sort of pedal covers. It's interesting because it still has the original wheels on it. It happens to have a big ass Super SL coil on it, like those Super SL coils that are like $120 or whatever they are. It's one of those like big ass ones that are over 90,000 volts. They are quite the beast of a coil, and it has super cell coil wires as well. So they're yellow and orange. You've probably seen them before. You know, and it's been sitting for who knows how long, to be honest. But there's no keys, so such a gamble. Now, and that's new enough to where you can just go to a Honda dealership and give them the VIN along with proof of ownership of it, and bam, they'll make you a set of keys. It's pretty cool, and it'll only cost you like $40. Oh, Rascal sees something out there because his tail is just bushy-eyed and huge at the moment. Hey, Rascal, buddy, what's going on? What's out there? What's out there? Yeah, he sees something because he's not like this if he because he definitely sees something just because his tail is so huge. Hey, buddy, what do you see? But anyways, yeah, and like in that, so that CRX would only make out of the box 72 horsepower. It happens to have a big cannon of an exhaust in the back that's probably obnoxious and loud and just horrible. But we shall see. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? I was just talking about actually something that might come to the channel depending on if my buddy buys it or not, which happens to be an 88 CRX. So, and was talking about, when I saw Disturbed on Thursday, and gonna talk about the Dyno Day as well still. So, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Like in this, so the CRX, because again, you weren't here, I'll just let you know. There's this 88 CRX. It's the base 72 horsepower engine. See, that is something that is a little interesting, that it made slightly more horsepower, but if you noticed, a lot more torque. Like, or I should say, my motor made a lot more torque. And also, I do wonder, maybe his motor is just slightly healthier than mine too. It could be that. And Keith is calling me, so I'm gonna have to end the stream. Hello.